What's up, guys? Today's Geeky Acrylics video is just going to be a short little discussion about primer. So this whole video series I've been doing, I'll link the most recent one up top, but this is all about building your own custom Funko Pop. You might hear different stuff from other people, but basically this is what I use. I did two different methods for these, my best friend Swoop custom Funko Pop. So these pieces here, the base and the head, they needed a little more work. I wet sanded them, but there was still little nicks and little marks that I wanted to, just try to get out before the actual painting. So for that, anytime I know I need a little more work, a little more sanding and priming to get a super smooth surface, I will use a spray primer. And this one really isn't my favorite. I'm making do with this one, but what you want to look for is that it's a primer. This is Rust-Oleum. It's usually pretty reliable, but this bonds to plastic, because remember, polymer clay is a plastic-based clay. And I pick something always pick something that's wet or dry sandable. I like to wet sand my sculpts, so this is really important when I pick out a primer. I actually prefer the automotive primer. I had a really nice one. I left it at my mom. She was using it for something. And yeah, so I don't have that one to show you today, but automotive primer works great. That's usually what I'd be using. This is actually not bad. As long as it's wet sandable, then I don't, and it, covers well, I don't really care. But, yeah, so this is what I'm making do with. So I did a coat on the head and the base. I'm going to wet sand it again and hit it with another coat of primer. I'm still just trying to there's these little nicks and stuff that if I don't do this again, it's going to show up in the paint job, and I don't want that to happen. For the smoother pieces, like the body, there's really not a lot of marks or problems with these, so I knew I wasn't going to really have to do a lot of wet sanding. Anyway, so after I did the sanding, I brushed primer on. So this is actually gesso that I put on my canvases and boards before working on like an acrylic painting project. So it's a mixture of black and white. This is my all-time favorite primer. You've probably seen me talk about it in previous videos. Liquitex Professionals black colored gesso. It's surface prep without a lot of tooth. It's got pretty much none. It goes on super smooth, which makes it work great for the pops. This one here, the Liquitex Basics, is what I like to put on my canvas because it does have some tooth. But for the pops, you want it to be smooth, so you don't want like a gritty surface brushed onto it. So I don't recommend this for your pops. So you want to make sure you test, you sample your gesso on a surface prior to brushing it onto your pop. So yeah, Liquitex Professionals, black and white, mixed together to get a nice gray prime. So that's what I brushed onto the hat because I wasn't planning on doing any more sanding to it. I still gotta paint the inside and the little accessories here. They weren't gonna need a lot. So yeah, I'm just brushing on some of that gesso, and then when it's drying, I'm going to take these back out. I'm gonna wet sand these and take them back outside and hit them with another light coat of primer and see if I can get some more, just smoother areas in the hair and at the bottom of the face, because there's a few little marks there that I'm not really happy with. And sometimes you don't notice the little nicks until after you've sanded and primed them. So the top of the base looked pretty smooth. So once I hit it with a primer, I could see. It's almost going to be impossible to see on camera, but it's just like little tiny nicks. And, you know, it doesn't seem like much, it doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're doing a nice finished paint job, you don't want to have that there. So I'm going to make sure to try to get those out before actually applying the finished paint job. So yeah, again, what method you want to use is just going to depend. Oh, God, I just said this. It's terrible. It's going to depend on what your sculpt is looking like after you sanded it. So you just want to wet sand as best, or sand or wet sand, whatever your preference is, as best you can. But it's just going to depend on what kind of gesso you have. Make sure you have a non-gritty gesso. And again, you can do a mixture. Like here I'm doing both methods, or you can pick one or the other. Basically just prep your surface and get a nice prime sculpt ready to go and ready to paint. So once I'm done with all this, I'm just going to leave it overnight to dry, and I will come back tomorrow and do a little painting, and I will have another video out about painting and protecting the sculpt. So this series is almost finished, and then I'll have a time lapse of the full sculpt project and let you see it come to life bit by bit. So I hope that you're enjoying these videos. If you have any questions about any part of the custom Funko Pop process or anything that you thought about that wasn't covered in my videos, feel free to drop the question in the comments, and I will do my best to answer them. I'm self-taught. I've just been doing this through trial and error, but if there's any way I can help people not make the same mistakes that I did, I'll gladly try to be of help. And if there's future projects, certain types of sculpts or challenges you'd love to see on here, yeah, let me know in the comments as well. I'm definitely open to suggestions for future projects and things that might be helpful here on the channel. And I do have some really cool upcoming painting projects coming up. I've been doing a lot of sculpting lately, and I know I still got the Chloe Funko Pop that I've got to finish as well. But I'm not saying I'm burnt out on sculpting. I'm just really itching to get to actual painting, and I have some really, really fun painting projects that I'm excited to share with you guys. But until next time, just make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want to see more. Bye-bye.